Hello, everyone. Okay, so nice to talk to all of you today. Thank you for joining. And today we will be talking about text messages to factor authentication and all of those, related things. So basically, it's quite a common theme that you would need to test two-factor authentication to log into your application, because more and more often companies rolling out two-factor authentication for login for security reasons. And there are several ways how you can log into an application using multi-factor authentication. So usually most common ones are login with email. Then second would be login with a text message, where the system will send you a text message. And the third one would be login with an Authenticator application code or Authenticator application approval. So great news is that testRigor supports all of those mentioned ways to log into your application. So you can do it with email. We can do it. You can do it with text message, and in general deal with text messages. And you can do it with Google App Authenticator. Like it is a way it is supported out of the box. So let me get a little bit. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to log myself in through two-factor authentication. It takes a little bit of time. In a second, I will be sharing the credentials. All right. Okay, so let me first set up an application. I don't want to share my screen until I set up things related to tokens on our Twilio, but once it is ready, I will share my screen and I will show you some demo. Okay. All right. I think I'm ready to share my screen now. Okay, so I'm creating a new test suite in here. So it will be a 2FA for examples, which I will be doing. And I will be doing one on twitter.com. It doesn't mean that we have Twitter, but Twitter does have two-factor authentication. I don't think we have all of it set up. However, we will just fake it out and emulate it, and we'll see if we have enough time to show a demo for for Google Authenticator. All right, so then in order for me to be able to show you authentication with text, I also set up my Twilio account. I have this SID and a phone number. All right, great. So first of all, we will be basically faking two-factor authentication with email, but by going through sign-up process with Twilio, it will illustrate the point. Oh, sorry, not Twilio, Twitter. It will illustrate the point. However, it might not. It does not necessarily mean it is identical steps. However, it will show you how to access and deal with email. So that is something which we can easily run. So let us first record some steps. Let's do sign up with email. And we'll do email. And it doesn't matter which one because we will be doing a different one. Anyway, so this is a verification code. Even though it's not login, as I mentioned, the process is very similar. So getting an email and you can have to read it and enter as a code. Let's stop it. And the 2FA. And this is 2FA with email. So we don't need login in here, and it is email. And we will go to documentation and check how to generate unique email. Let's copy that. This is just needed for sign up. We would need it for login, of course, but in this particular case, this is sign up process. And at the end, we do check that email to stored value. And what was stored value in your email? Was received. And we'll kick it off. So we'll let me return back. So this is our test suite. Like this is our test case. And basically, as you see, it kicked it off. We're going through the steps. Looks like we filled out all the fields, generated the email, click signed up. It got into this waiting for verification code mode, and it's this. So the key part here is that this command check that email to stored value new email. Or in your particular case, you might not need to use the stored value. You might just specify the specific email you need to get a code from, or if you are getting that email as a username, it might be stored value username. This will get the email, in particular, it will render this email for you. And now, basically, we should extract the email. The code from the email. There are a couple of ways to do that. You can do relative location. You can get the code below this paragraph, or in this particular case, we will grab the value of this code based on its format, which is supposedly 6 digits. So when you're doing two-factor authentication somewhere, most probably you know what is the format is. That should be good enough. So it would be grab value by template. And let's check the documentation again. If you check the documentation here, yep. So this is an example. Well, you can check the simple template format, but I'll just copy this example. Like if you go to a simple template, you'll see what each symbol means. Simple templates is just those symbols to support either digits or lowercase or uppercase letters, or any of the above. And that's it. It's just very simple. That's why it's called simple template. And let me just paste it as an example. And our template was 6 digit. There's nothing else, just 6 digits. So this hashtag hash means a digit. And we store it as a code, and then we can switch back to 1 and enter stored value code, which we grabbed from the email into, and the field name is, I believe, verification code. That's it. So let's update and retest to kick it off. So while I'm doing that, you feel free to ask me any questions. And we will try to get as far as possible today. If not, we can extend and add additional session for other types of authentication. All right, tagging along. So all the syntax that we are using is all in the documentation. Those are in grab value in table of command. So if you search for grab value, like this is where you'll find the examples. And if you search for check that email, you'll or check email, you'll find examples checking email. Okay, so here let's see. Our code was 481045. We're getting it by format. If you check the result, is 481045. So it was able to complete successfully. We're not going to proceed in this particular case. We don't want to bother our friends at Twitter. Anyway, so next example I would want to get to is two-factor authentication with text messages and how to deal with text messages. So in order to be able to do that, you would need to go to settings, go to integrations. I already set it up, but you would need to set up Twilio integration. You can set it up when you're creating test suite or post factum. And I will be reusing the same number basically a couple of times. And let's search the documentation. Actually, let's go up and go to define text messages. SMS messages. There we go. This is how it's called. And what we will do is that we will, I do not have currently set up any application that would require two-factor authentication. So if we will fake it by sending a text message to our own phone number. And then basically reading it and assuming this is a code. And this is code. It should be where code is. Like, let's do it also 6-digit, for example, but it could be anything. So this first command will basically send the text message with this thing. Then, like there is an example, I'm sure. Yes, there is this example of testing 2FA with SMS. And like I'll just copy this. These 2 lines. By the way, when we get to Twitter, name, okay. And we'll just enter it in name field. So here we need to click sign up with phone. So we'll do click sign up with phone. And then we'll enter confirmation code into name, just to see how it works, to fake it, to fake two-factor authentication. Anyway, so we have our phone number here. So check that SMS to this phone number was delivered and matches. So you don't have to do this match, but might be helpful. Save it as SMS. Like we saved SMS, and now we need to extract value. And in our case, the prefix is this one. And it is 6 digits. So it is confirmation code. So I'm sure you can do the same thing with a simplified template, just showing it as an example with regex. You can do more powerful things with regex sometimes, and this is what I'm showing up. So basically what we did here is we simulated us login by sending the text message when we did some clicks. When we validated that we received the text message, it is in certain format. We extracted the message from it into SMS. Then we extracted the code from SMS, saved it as confirmation code, extract value, extracts text from other text, from variable. And then we used that code and to enter into name. And it should be 263 532. Let's add and run and see how that is going to go. Okay, so while it's executing, I'll continue to answer questions. Mitten, I didn't get what's the point. That's wonderful. We have some kind of a wrong phone number. That's strange. Okay, so maybe I just can't send the text message to myself. But anyway, so regardless, like that, that would be the flow, and it is outlined as an example here in SMS messages. And finally, there is a way to do it with Google Authenticator. Unfortunately, I don't have time to go for it. We can set up a next session. But the point of it is that when you work with Google Authenticator, it will give you a square code in order to sign up Google Authenticator. So you can extract this square code and use that square code in order to be able to generate confirmation code for your login. So like the input, when you're setting things up, you would need to take a screenshot of the square code, save it at testRigor as a test data, and then use that test data in order to be able to generate a code for login. This way you'll be able to log in, for example, into applications like Gmail. Anyway, so let me answer the questions, and that would be for it. I didn't get the point about API link here. Next, if there is more than one email gets triggered, how to get a specific email for grabbing the code? Excellent question. Then when you're doing check email, there are multiple ways how you can filter out the email. So you can basically also filter out by what it was sent by, what email it was sent from, not just to. You can also filter out by subject, as in this example. And you can also use regular expressions in order to filter out in subject things if you're looking for something more specific. So it definitely will be a way to do that. And also it will only check the emails which were sent since your test started to work. So that makes try to do it as reliable as possible. Jesh, Artem, can you just copy the code to clipboard and paste it into the destination? This is de facto what you are emulating. Instead of clipboard, it is a variable which you can use across the board, irregardless what it is in the clipboard at any given moment, because you might need to use clipboard for copy pasting and stuff like that as a part of the flow, but you can have as many variables as you want on top of one single clipboard which we have. So you do not need to use clipboard. You can just continue to use variables as my examples. Next question is, can we put wait time as something? Sometimes email takes time to reach. Yes, you can add waits if need to. However, our system was fine-tuned to basically be able to wait appropriate amount of time out of the box in order to receive your email. This check email already knows that it might take a little bit of time for email to be delivered, and it has appropriate timeouts which you can modify in settings or can specify explicitly in the code for per case per case basis. It's all possible. And you're welcome, Mita. So basically, we went through a couple of examples how to find them with email and text messages. And next time, we can also touch on two-factor authentication with Google Authenticator. Thank you.